yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I say. Well, well, well. My, my, my. Well, well, well. Let's take a ride. Music's bumping, people jumping. This could be the start of something good. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, well, we have finally made it to the last two beers, and I ended up keeping mine off to the side because I knew under the table it's Nate and Chuck used the same malt that I did, so we both did Vienna. These guys did Bestmalz, and I did Mecca grade Venora. They call their Vienna. So we're going to give you a couple of quick updates on it, and some of the specs, and we'll kind of go from there. So this is under the table South Brewing. Fresh P and Chuck sounds a little bit of a 80s Run DMC type of gear. So they again are using Vienna, the best malts. This is original gravity of 1056, final gravity of 1012 with an ABV of 4.99, mash pH 5.3, beer pH 4.1. This was brewed on 7/18 and packaged on 8/6. Best Vienna, their spec sheet says it produces a golden color, excellent foam, and pleasant mouthfeel in the finished beer. Unlike Best Heidelberg, this malt uses two-row barley varieties that create more color during the malting process. Protein content is somewhat higher than the Pilsen malt, the same crop year, and a similar enzyme composition and high extract values. Mecca grade is what I ended up using, and so this is mine. This one, again, it's, excuse me, it's called Venora, is what they call their Vienna. I brewed this on the 11th of July. I kegged on 7/21 and canned on the 2nd of August. My OG was 1049 with a final gravity of 1011, ABV of 5%. I had a pH of 5.4 and in the beer, finished beer, 4.1. So we'll get into these here and see. Mecca grade says the characteristics and applications for use in Vienna, Oktoberfest, and Marzen beers. Venora is a high kiln malt that is aromatically rich, contributing slight toast walnut flavors, deep golden hues to your beer. So we'll get into Fresh P and Chuck's. A little hiss there. They use the Brewtuber glass for theirs. It's coming out super clear. I'll pour all of it because I don't want to, if there's anything in the bottom, I want to change the clarity because that is, wow. Talk about clear. You can see the light on the far side. If I turn the label, you can see the label through the far side. That is, wow, guys. Unbelievably clear. That is crystal clear. I mean, if you were to read through it, if I put it up against, absolutely. I'm looking through my computer screen, easily can be able to read through that. Nice hue to it. Carbonation, if I get it in close, maybe we'll see the carbonation bubbles coming up. But man, wow, such clear. All right, let's see if I can do mine next to it. We'll do a little side by side. So mine's looking lighter, I would say, as it comes through. I'm going to enjoy both of these tonight. It's been a Friday. All right, let's see if I can get them turned here so we can get the... So, Venora, Bestmalz Vienna. So I definitely think the Venora, a slight bit lighter color. Carbonation definitely seems like on mine held up. Now mine didn't travel, so that could definitely do something with it. Head retention, I guess there's a little more head on this. Again, it's the whole traveling thing. When you look at it, it's hard on beers when you're putting it in mail and shipping it. And we shipped Let's see, this one goes from Georgia to South Carolina to New York. So that's definitely not easy on it. So, all right, let me get into your beer, guys. Cilantro, gents. That's really good. I think if the carbonation was a little bit up there with it, it'd be perfect. I know there's a little sweetness there to it. I noticed on mine when I was using the same malt here, mine was too sweet for me when I first brewed. The more legs we got onto it as we got into late August, early September, and it was still on tap, I really, really enjoyed it because it started to balance out a little bit, dried out a little bit, cleared up. Get a little bit of that toast, biscuity. Get a little of that in the nose. Not an awful lot of hops. I don't get much in that. That's a really good beer. It's starting to fog up the glass a little bit, but man, what a beautiful beer. You guys did a great job with this. All right, let me try mine. Cilantro. I think the carbonation definitely helps us a little bit. Gives a little more of that little carbonic bite, and I'll get it. So still pretty clear. Maybe not quite as clear as you guys. It's pretty close though. Let me see if I can get the, I guess you can read the Genesee label through it. So it's still pretty clear through there. Let me see in terms of reading it. Yeah. It's maybe a touch of a haze, maybe a chill haze in there, but not an awful lot. I guess as you're looking at them, that's a little bit better lighting right there. You can see the difference in the colors a little bit better from that position. Definitely a little lighter, definitely just a touch darker. Be hard pressed to know the difference between these two, to be honest. And if you didn't have the ability to put them side by side with color, you know, if it was an opaque glass, if I was going side by side, man, that'd be tough to tell them apart if I didn't know the difference between the two. Other than the visual, maybe there's a hair more bitterness here, but I'm absolutely scratching to get that. And if the carbonation was the same on them, I don't even know. You know, right now, this to me feels a little drier on the tongue, but that could very well be that carbonic bite that you get, that carbonation. It just kind of feels like it dries out your tongue faster. But this is still a nice dry beer. Man, I'm impressed. I'm having a hard time going through it when I basically try to write some notes down as I've gone through. I've had a hard time grading all these out, but it's been a really, really interesting process. I'm really thankful. So Matt at Rec Brewing, I really appreciate you putting this together, being the hub. I know it can't be easy. I've never been a hub before, so getting it all organized, I can only imagine it's difficult. So until I was able to do it, I probably can't appreciate how good of a job you've done with this. So I appreciate you doing it. To Nate and Chuck, great beer, great job. I'm super impressed. All of you guys that have done this with this group, really, really impressed. Again, not a bad beer in the bunch. I've liked every one of them. Really coming down to the balance, I think, really. Balance of the beer and what you like and what you're trying to get out of it. So, and I guess that's the thing that I've really learned with this is are you looking for color? Are you looking for sweetness? I haven't noticed a mouthfeel change in any of these, but I guess, you know, what does it really support? And when you're building your recipe and having a good understanding of what a base malt does for you and what it brings to the final product is really what we're kind of looking for. So I'm hopeful that these videos, if I don't sound too goofy, that hopefully it can be helpful to somebody else that's looking to build recipes. I know it's been helpful for me to kind of go through this and be able to look back at this and kind of have some information to work off of. So I wanted to say thanks to everybody that was part of it. Thanks again, Matt, to putting it together. Thank you to Brewtubers, great online club, having a blast, great bunch of guys, learn a ton. Love the fact being able to get on Discord and be able to ask questions, and people have immediate feedback within minutes. You're getting information back of, this is what I've done, this is what I've tried. So if you haven't jumped in and got part of Brewtubers, you need to do it. So it's launch, gents. Have a great one. Hope you guys all have a great weekend. Thanks a bunch.